Welcome back to the Wolf's Den, episode 3. I'm going to chat about NBA and a bit about this NFL season and then glance at the Super Bowl. In terms of NBA, I'm going to break down. So we had a fantastic streak for us. We hit 8 in a row of our biggest bets. Now, I didn't realize at the time that obviously we had Nets game 1, game 2 was in there, and then we rode them through because I purely bet based on numbers. I don't bet based on a team. I couldn't give a fuck who is playing. I care where the sportsbooks have liability, and I care how the stats matched up with the rest days. And then of course I get access to some of the best information in the world, which allows me to hit streaks like this. But what you can do if you don't have access to something like that, you don't conduct a lot of research with analysts, you can look for trends where an underdog team has won, say, 2 in a row like the Nets had done. Usually a team can run hot for about 5-6 games. Then what happens is the public starts to realize the team is on a streak. They all flow into it and the sports books adjust the lines. The team loses and then the public gets fucked in the ass. So with us, when I've got 4 in a row of a team like the Nets, I'm on a streak like 8 in a row. I'm happy to just keep running until the Nets lose. So I went again for the 5th time. Obviously they had the loss, but I'm happy to wear that because they've given me 4 great wins and I've had a streak of 8. I then reset and go back to the next team. So that is one thing you can do. If you don't have access, direct access to great information, if you don't conduct probably 5-6 hours of research per day on data, you don't get access to what the sports books are doing or their liability, then you can look for simple tricks like that to try to help you out. The second thing as well, guys try to cheat, and they do this with that sports bet, but they do it on Ladbrokes. FanDuel does it as well. They promote particular plays due to trends, and guys go and tell their friends, oh, I've got this great play, and they've literally just regurgitated the bullshit that is right there. Those sports books don't want you to win. They do not like you. They are not your friend, and they're not telling you a play because they want you to win big. They want you to lose, and they'll occasionally slip in 1 or 2 that may win. But if you consistently follow that information, you will consistently suck at betting, which most people do, because they will give sometimes different depending on the algorithm of how much you trade. I've seen before where a guy will have a power price on this side of the head-to-head, and then another one of the members will have a power price on this side of head-to-head, depending on how much money they've won or lost recently and how much money they want to give back to a particular bettor. So you have to keep that in mind, that the sports books are not your friend. Now, looking at NFL, this season was one of the most interesting NFL seasons I've ever seen. Now, it probably was my worst regular season in NFL for a very long time. Obviously, I hit Michigan over Alabama. I hit the college championship. I've had a great run in the playoffs. I hit the futures on Michigan, and I've got a futures playing in the Super Bowl as well. So I'm going to make a shit ton of money. But the regular season was a lot harder on a week-to-week basis. That is because all the sports books started to legalize in the US across all the states. So what historically previously happened was that, let's say you got 10 games on a weekend, the sports books would identify perhaps 2 games that the public is really heavy on one side of a bet. And they do manipulate it. I've said this for years. That's the reason why I've been around for 5 years, because I bet based on the fact that they do manipulate it. And so then what will happen is I'll find the game that all the money's on, and then I'll go against the public and go on the side of the sports book. Now, more often than not, then you can get 2-3 big wins a week and move on to the next week. Now, what happened this season is because so many states legalized, all of the games all of a sudden started having incredible volume on it. So if all the games have incredible volume, the books don't care about which ones cover, as long as, say, 6 or 7 of the public lose, then public win 3, they don't care. So there's a lot more landmines to get through. When it comes to playoffs or championship games, there's only 1 or 2 games to focus on. So the sports books want to make sure they take all the money. That's why my performance is so great in the Super Bowl, in the college championship, in the playoffs every single year, because the sports books take all the money from the public during that period. So that'll be interesting for this upcoming next season to look into, as the sports books start to digest with so many people betting on the games, and it will be very exciting. In terms of the Super Bowl, everybody's talking about this narrative of Kelsey and Swift, and now how that can potentially tie even into Joe Biden, and then him with Pfizer. Look, I don't buy into that noise. I don't buy into that any drama. If you're betting 4, 5, 600,000 on a game, there's no fucking way I could bet that much money based on my feeling about Taylor Swift, or if there's some kind of fucking corruption thing going on between them. If you're betting $200, $300, by all means, you may as well bet on the color of the Gatorade. But if you're betting real money, it has to be on sportsbook liability, it has to be on data, has to be on analytics. Otherwise, I couldn't fucking live with myself for betting it for me and giving it to other guys. So that's why I block out all the noise during these 2 weeks. I don't listen to anything. I don't focus on anything. It's all my team's data. It's all the information that we get fed. And that is why I haven't lost a big game like this in over 3 years. And that is why I'll win this again. Obviously, I do have a futures bet in the Super Bowl, so I'm not really stressed, but I know I'll win my futures and I know I'll win a big bet on the day, just like I knew in the college championship with Michigan. So it's very exciting. There's a lot going on. I hope that gave you guys some insights and helps with your own personal betting. And for my guys, keep fucking those pigs.